So now we are going to see about the Harihara and Bukka. Here in 1336 he ascended the throne. He ruled. To whom we are talking? We are talking about the Harihara. He ruled continuous 20 years from 1336. So from 1336 to 26 means 56. 1356. After 1356 his brother was there, Bukka, and he ruled from 1356 to 1377. Total 21 years. Now here you can see it's Vijayanagar. What they have done, they have captured this Madurai as well as this Mysore portion also they have annexed. Vijayanagar, it was lasted 230 years. In these 230 years, three main dynasties were there. The first dynasty is Sangama dynasty. Time period is 1336 to 1485. Then second is Saluba dynasty, 1485 to 1505, and third one is Tuluba dynasty, 1505 to 1565. So when Harihara and Bukka was there, it means that was this Sangama dynasty. Okay. Now we are going to see about the Krishnadev Rai. So now we are going to see about the Krishnadev Rai. His time period was 1505 to 1530. As you have seen, this is the Vijayanagar. Here river Krishna, river Tungabhadra. He has captured this place also. This was the most fertile place in whole India. Okay, this place was considered. Now he has also captured Bahmani. Okay, it shows that he was a very brave ruler over there. He was having interest in trade, the trade with the Portuguese, Dutch and British. He has also built so many buildings and dams, tanks, canals. It shows that he was taking interest in agriculture because agriculture is the main source of revenue. Then one of the most poem composed by himself in Telugu, Amukta Malvyada. Okay, this poem composed by Raja Krishnadev Rai. Okay. Now we are going to see about the administration of Vijayanagar. Here the regional kingdoms, they were not stable and strong as like the Delhi ones. Okay, that Muhammad bin Tughlaq or Ghayasuddin, like that. They were not strong as like them. Then here the real power, it was in the hand of king. Whole empire, if we are going to talking about that, you can see the empire, it was divided into mandalams. Mandalams means provinces. Okay, then again these mandalams is further going to be divided into nadus. Nadus means districts. Then again these nadus further going to be divided into sathalas, means sub districts. Then again these sathalas are going to be divided into grams, which is known as a villages. Here we can see from the Chola administration only, the village level administration, it was very strong. Here in village administration, it was a feudal system. Okay, and administrative post, it was hereditary. So this This is all about the administration of Vijayanagar Empire. So here you can see economic condition of Vijayanagar. They were having the trade system overseas as well as the overland also, as we have seen in the previous topic that they were having the trade with Portuguese, Dutch, British. No. So here the most important source was revenue. They were levied according to the fertility of the land. Means wherever the land was, if suppose this is the Doab place, this land was fertile between Krishna and Tungabhadra river. So here if suppose they are going to take a 50% land. Okay. Some other places the land was not fertile. Suppose it's Bahmani. No. Bahmani was here. So in this place, if they are taking land revenue 50% from here, so they can be take from 25% from here. If Madurai, here according to the land fertility they can be take 10% or 15%. So this was the system for collecting the revenue according to the fertility of land. Now we are going to see the fall down of the empire. So here the fall down of the empire, what happened, as we have seen, it's a Vijayanagar. You can see here in this map. This is Vijayanagar. Here Mysore. Here Bijapur. Bahmani is under dam. Here Daulatabad. So what happened? Now all they came together and they defeated Vijayanagar. As here Bijapur was here, Ahmednagar and Golconda. All these three they united together in 1565 in Battle of Talikota, and they have defeated this Vijayanagar king and captured this Vijayanagar. Okay, so now we are going to see about the Bahmani kingdom. Now we are going to see about the Bahmani kingdom. The time period is 1347. This Bahmani kingdom was lasted rule 180 years, means from 1347 to 1520. Here the founder of this Bahmani kingdom was known as Alauddin Hassan. Okay, Alauddin Hassan. What happened? Here Bahmani is here, Delhi is here. In Delhi, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was here, and under his time period, Hassan Gangu was working here as an officer. Okay, and later what he has done, he has declared himself as an independent ruler. Okay, so he has founded Bahmani kingdom because he took the title Alauddin Bahman Shah. His first capital was Gulbarg. Then later on he has shifted his capital to Bidar. In Bahmani kingdom, two more important kings were there. One is Firoz Shah Bahmani and another one is Mahmud Ghan. So that we are going to see now. Now Firoz Shah Bahmani, the time period is 1397 to 1422. 1397 to 1422. He was the most powerful ruler of this Bahmani dynasty. As we have seen, Bahmani is here. What he has done, he has captured some Gond territories also. Okay, defeated Nasir Rai. And except this, what else he has done? He has also captured this Doab place. Okay, he was interested in science. He was knowing the languages of Persian, Arabic, Turkish, Telugu, Kannada, and Marathi. Okay, this is all about Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Now we are going to see about the Mahmud Ghan. So now we are going to see about the Muhammad Ghan. The time period is 1463 to 1481. Here you can see he was by birth Persian. So what happened? He came from there in Deccan in Bahmani kingdom, and he was serving here as a wazir when Muhammad Shah III was there. In his court he was working as a wazir. Okay, he was serving in the royal court. He managed 18 years. Okay, in the kingdom, he expanding the kingdom and also restructuring the kingdoms. His behavior was very good with the local persons, nobles, so they liked him very much to Mahmud Ghan. Okay, so that's why he is able to become a king of Bahmani. He is scholar of maths and literature. Later on, he has also started Urdu languages to learn the Urdu. Then he has built madrasa in Bidar. Bidar was the capital, no? So he has built madrasa. In his madrasa's library, 3,000 valuable manuscripts collection was there. Okay, now we are going to see about the administration of Bahmani kingdom. In administration of Bahmani kingdom, here you can see first place goes in the hand of wazir, as we have seen that Mahmud Ghan, he was a wazir, no? So that's why all the power it's rests in the hand of wazir. After wazir, there is a Amir Jumla, means he is taking care of finance department. Then Wazir Ashraf, taking care of foreign affairs. Then Sardar Jahan, taking care of religious and judicial department. Whole kingdom, it was divided into tarafs, means provinces, and these tarafs looked by the Amir or tarafdars. So here, because of the continuous war, here you can see Bahmani kingdom is here. Bijapur, Golconda, Warangal, Daulatabad, Mysore. What happened? Now they all were continuously having a fought, and Bahmani have to fought with all these kingdoms. So because of the continuous fought, the Bahmani become a weak, and finally 1527 it's broke up into 5 kingdoms. As the first one is Bijapur, it was under the Adil Shahi rulers. Second is Golconda, under the Qutub Shahi rulers. Third one is Ahmednagar, under the Nizam Shahi rulers. Next is Bidar, under the Warid Shahi rulers, and then Berar. Then finally what happened here? Later Bidar was annexed by Bijapur. Bidar, this is Bidar, no? This was annexed by this Bijapur. Bijapur king, Adil Shahi rulers, they have captured this Bidar. And what happened with this Berar? This Berar is captured by the Ahmednagar, Nizam Shahi rulers. And finally in 16th century, they all came under the Mughal kingdoms. Okay, they all came under the Mughal empire. Okay, so this is all about Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdom. Thank you. Have a nice day.